This is Collagraph on Silk Part 2. In this video, I'm going to show you how I took further one of the 3 prints we have done in Part 1. These 3 prints were in 3 different colours, and we did them all on a silk plate using Collagraph techniques. In this part, I'm going to take this print further and I'm going to turn this into this print. If you want to find out how I did it, you can watch this video and I'll show you all the details. This is part 2. There will be 2 more parts where I will show you what I did with the green and the violet prints. If you want to see part 1, you can click on this link. Hope you enjoy the video. So first of all, I'm starting out with drawing out a stencil made on Friskit tape. Friskit tape is great because it's sticky on one side and it's very easy to peel off after you finished using it. Also, you can reuse it. I kept this one and used it twice. So as you can see, I'm just fixing it down to my silk Collagraph plate and blocking out all the bits that I don't want any ink on. Sorry, I'm blocking out all the bits that I don't want my pastes and gels on, because I'm here just building the plate right now, not printing. So I'm hoping you can see sort of it's very difficult to see really what I'm doing because it's all transparent, but I'm going to start out with using a matte medium, acrylic matte medium. And matte medium is going to have like a mid-tone, and it should really show me a bit of transparency. So I'm just starting out with a paintbrush and I'm scraping off with you could use a credit card or some kind of a spreading tool, and just using a hairdryer to speed up the drying process. But really, I'm scraping it off because I want to have some transparency. I don't want the layer of the media to be too thick. I want some of the design to show through. So after I'm happy that it's dry, I'm just going to peel off the Friskit tape, and I've kept the Friskit tape. So after this is dried, I'm just going to do the other part of my design. It's great because the Friskit tape, despite being sort of plasticky, you can still draw on it with pencil, which is really handy. So I'm just drawing out my borders here and cutting out the shapes that I want to block out from my paste, from my acrylic medium. And yes, so it's super useful. You can use Friskit tape in printmaking, making plates, but you can also use it in painting if you want to block out certain bits of painting. I use Friskit tape, and I also use like a kid's drawing pad, which you can stick on walls, and you can get it on Amazon. I use that as well as Friskit tape, both equally as good as each other. So yeah, just also has a Friskit tape has got the grid at the back, which can be super useful to guide you. So this was really fun to do, and I would really encourage for anyone to have a go at doing that, because the results are really beautiful and the transparency is very interesting. And as you build layers on top of each other, as you will see, you can, when the layers overlay each other, they will become, you will see it. So it's super fun to do. Also, it gives you edges, even though it's very, very thin layer. It also gives you edges, and that can be utilized in your design as well. So yeah, here we go. I've got all my bits down, and remember, I've already got one layer of acrylic medium with that sort of on the right, that stripe going on the right. So again, this I'm just using matte medium again. as I want to have a mid-tone value at this present moment, I might swap to gloss medium to have a lighter value. But it does help starting off with a paintbrush, because I want to be really delicate. I don't want to get the medium underneath the Friskit tape. I want to have very defined edges. So that's why I'm sort of being very gentle here, as well with the paintbrush as well as the scraping tool. But yeah, this is super fun to do. So once that is all applied, again I will hair dry it, just to speed up the drying process. And also it really helps with just peeling off the Friskit tape, hair drying, because it sort of softens, it dries the acrylic medium, but also it keeps the medium soft, so it should be easy to peel at this moment. So you can't really see very well where the matte medium is. Maybe you can see a tiny little bit, but yeah, we're kind of working blind here. I just had a design in my head that I put together in Photoshop, and I had it as my rough guide on my laptop. But you don't have to do that. You can just work on and just be creative straight on your plate. Yeah, you can just about see it. So here I've had my wetted paper. Here I'm just still working really on 100 GSM. I'm not using any sort of nice paper here, because this is all just proof printing. I just want to see what this is like with matte medium. I've done a lot of proof printing with this print and with the previous ones, just because there's a lot of trial and error, just seeing what it looks like. But yeah, I will probably use these proof prints for some further work, perhaps turn them into paintings, or some mixed media work. So I won't waste them, I've kept them all. So here I'm still working. I've had, as I mentioned, I had a problem with my Akua black in my previous video. So I ordered lamp black, and I'm using this lamp black here, which is slightly cooler black, but I just wanted to just to try out and see if that different black is a little bit more successful. And as you can see, it is. And so yeah, interestingly, this matte medium is quite transparent, but you can see when the both shapes overlapped each other, you have a lighter tone, which is lovely. It's a really, really special, beautiful effect. So really quite happy with that. And yeah, but what I'm gonna do, you can see here just a snapshot of the print. But what I'm going to do next, I've decided that I actually wanted those shapes to be a bit lighter. So I'm using those Friskit tape shapes that I've cut out previously, and I'm actually going to use this time gloss medium. And gloss medium will wipe lighter. And so I've applied the Friskit tape. I'm not going to bore you with the details, and applied the gloss medium, and I've inked up and printed again. And I'm hoping for these shapes to be a little bit more lighter. Unfortunately, sometimes it does happen, it's got a bit sticky. So even though maybe perhaps I should have waited a little bit longer for it to dry, but also you can prevent that by slightly sort of rubbing the plate with a bit of linseed oil or burnt copper plate oil. That helps it with the sticking. I didn't want to varnish it with shellac because I want the details and the contrasts. So yes, a lot lighter with gloss medium. So it really does depend. You can build up different layers, different tones. I just wanted sort of a very nice light shape to contrast with the very dark background, so I decided to go for gloss medium, and I'm really quite happy with the results. But I feel like I could do with something else. You can see, just doing a close-up here, you can see when the two shapes overlap, you've got a little bit of an edge, which is lovely. But look at all these transparencies. It's just so unique. Really, really, that's what I love about this type of printmaking. It's just breathtaking. I think you can get so much out of your plate. And here I'm just comparing. The left hand side is lamp black, and the right hand side I have revisited my black Akua ink, and it worked. So basically, after a long time with the blending media, it seemed to be okay in the end. So here I'm just showing you, I'm going to just add a bit more detail, just a bit more interest. I'm adding a stencil using Micaceous iron oxide paint by Golden, which acts a little bit like carborundum. And I'm just using this Shopbop stencil just to add just a little bit more detail in two different places, in a top left and a bottom right corners. So yes, glad to say the inks have finally worked out for me after a very frustrating first print. So here you can see a little bit better against the sunlight, the gloss media. And I'm just doing another print with the little addition of stencil work. Yeah, that's really sweet. Love that on the top right. And you can't see it very well, there's a little bit on the bottom left, just a tiny hint of it. Yeah, so it worked out really lovely. But yeah, I prefer this Mars black from the lamp black because it's a warmer black, and in this case I wanted a warmer black colour. Yeah, so here we go, just a comparison between the two different blacks. Now here I was testing on one of my old proof prints the transparencies of my inks. I couldn't decide which ink colour I would use for the monoprint overlay monoprint, so I decided to sort of rub it with my finger. You can use transparent base, of course, to make inks more transparent, but I've decided that the blue and the red Akua inks were nice transparencies, so I decided to use those. So this is my monoprint acetate, and I'm going to use on the left hand side a bit of acetate to roll out the inks. And I'm just doing sort of gradation between the red, the magenta, and the ultramarine blue. So I have two different colors and some nice transparency, so I can still see the design that I've worked so hard on to create underneath. So here we are. I'm just placing, this was I'd like to just point out the last print was made on the 300 GSM, a nice paper. Perhaps that helped with the troublesome Akua ink to print better. Akua does need more absorbent paper. So here I'm just blocking out. I'm blocking out what I want to be left black and white in the original print. And I'm going to layer the monoprint plate on top, and basically that will be it, I think, for my print. I could perhaps do more with it, but I was quite happy with what I got, and I didn't want to do any more. So I didn't bother wetting this paper. It was still a little bit damp from the previous print because I did it quite quickly. So I was quite happy with how wet it was. But you can spray it with water if you, for example, wait till next day to do the monoprint on top. So here is the reveal. I love this part. It's so satisfying. All this hard work, hours and hours spent creating this plate, and it can go wrong and it can be rubbish, which is, oh. But on this occasion, I was super happy with it. It's gorgeous. The transparencies, the delicate sort of interweaving shapes, the background coming through. It's yeah, it's absolutely lovely. I am really happy with it. So yeah, I would seriously recommend this technique. As you can see, just doing a little bit close up, some lovely highlights. Whatever there were, it was lighter in the print. It's showing through. And here, just as a fun bit at the end, I wanted to show you the monoprint bits, the stencil, the blocking out stencils. I'm going to keep them because they are gorgeous. Look at them, they're fun. I'm going to use them in some collage work. Anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please like and subscribe. That would really help me creating more videos for you. And thank you so much for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you in part 3.